right, muscle memory. But of course, if you've truly been through some type of hard stuff, right,
Yeah.
go to a therapist, and then from there, if it truly helps you, it truly helps you, right? That's your truth, and that's what you think helps you. Go ahead. If you feel
Yeah.
as though it's doing better for you in your life and the people around you, go ahead and do it.
But for you personally, it's like, okay, I don't need to talk to anybody else if I have myself.
Yeah.
And I can just like, okay, what's going on in my head?
Yeah.
You know, that's true. That's valid. I guess for me, my question for you is, when do you think you went to this switch? You know, because obviously you're raised and you have a adolescent mind.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just the only thing that really matters is lunchtime at school and playing the newest video game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so what was like your canon event? You know, that kind of like you looked yourself in the mirror and you're just like, man, like I need to figure out who I am. You know, do you think there's ever like a canon event that really flipped the switch for you? Or?
Yes. For me, it was definitely, of course, I've grown into it over time. It's up to what I am now. But it truly started because I was raised as a Christian, right? Because my family was mainly Christian.
Dang, so you just went against the flock.
Yo.
I feel like those would be the worst. Like, like the preacher's son that just hates Christianity. you was probably like, man, you probably sitting in the pews like, man, all these people worshiping a God. Like, man, I just need myself. My thoughts. I don't need no guy.
Nah, truthfully, it wasn't really even like that though. To be honest, because I was raised Christian, right, and I'll go to church from time to time.
Yeah.
But like with my family or whatever. But I wasn't exactly all the way into it. And then from there, like when I was younger, like elementary school, you would hear people say, "Oh, I'm Catholic," or "I'm Christian." I'm like, "Wait, what? Catholic seems pretty cool. Let me be a Catholic." I'm a Catholic now, right? But apart from that, when it really clicked was I started to separate myself and truly try to understand my mind in middle school going into high school.
Yeah.
That's when I really started to understand things. That's more of like the social dynamics part, where you start to separate yourself and who you are, and place yourself with other people in different groups, and be able to adapt and whatnot. So that's where it really started.
Sound like some deep stuff, man. Like it sound like you like in middle school and everybody's playing on the castle, and then you're just kind of on the side, like, man, these guys are bums. Like,
but it's weird though because it's like a switch though. Like you have to similar to Christianity, right? Where we live in this world, right? But then because we live in this world, we also have to understand that we have involuntary things that will occur that will affect us, right? What we have to do is that we then have to reach out to God and then allow Him to give us guidance in this world that we live in. You know what I mean? So it's a switch, right? You're gonna get stuck and you're gonna get emotional from time to time. You're gonna get mad about something here and there, but you always have to look up and then get that guidance from that higher power.
That's true, because I feel like even when you're talking about like that switch, I mean, I feel like even for me, like I feel like it gets to a point where it's just like, I don't know, like you really got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to ask yourself, okay, like who am I and what do I want for myself? Because I feel like for a long time, like who you are and who you want to become is based off other people. It's based off your family, it's based off your friends groups, and it's like, okay, like their approval is like what matters. You know what I mean? But then it gets to a point where you're just like, man, like if I just stop really caring about everything in the world and what people think and what people do and just focus on myself, I feel like you're going to be so much more like I feel like you'll accomplish so much more because there's no boundaries in your life. And I like there's a time for me, like I deleted all social media and like I was like, let me just focus on myself and grind, and because of that period of time, like I really grew from that because there was no competition, there's no expectations, and it's just like, oh, hey, like this is who I am. I'm gonna stand on business. You don't like it, who cares? This is who I am. And I feel like that mindset can get people far because people are so focused on like, oh, the nicest cars, the nicest homes, and You know, if a guy has money, he's validated. If he got the nice chick, like that means he's cool. You know, but once you like, you know what, man, I don't care about none of that stuff. Like I want to be genuine to me. You know what I'm saying? That I feel like that's the point where you kind of go to the next level. You know, because there's nothing really holding you back. You know, it's like, okay, like when I go to sleep at night, who do I think I am? Who do I want to become? Right? And when you become that person, to me at least, that's when you're truly happy. That's when you have that true success.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying a little bit?
That's where you have that peace.
That's when you have that peace.
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing to get to.
Yeah. So are you there yet, do you think?
Yeah, I would say so.
You're there. So when you go to sleep at night, you're like, I'm that dude.
Yes, but
really?
in a different perspective. Though.
Okay. What you think?
Because I have my, I figured this out literally like a week and a half ago. Because, okay, so previously you guys would usually say like, oh, we have people in the world, right? The word world, right?
Yeah.
People in the world in comparison to people in the kingdom, right?
Yeah.
At first, throughout all these years, right, I've heard you guys say that. And then for me, I was always like, why do they say that? Why do they say people in the world? Like, because you're kind of like putting yourself in a higher position, right?
Yeah, just a different spot.
Exactly.
Yeah,
but
different
then
category.
From there, I actually started to understand that, well, I always knew that I did this.
Would you understand the correlation?
Exactly. But then now I understand where I'm at in the phrase that I use to be able to relate to you guys now, which is what I just said earlier, which is the universal/divine point of view.
All right, man, let's get into it, man. There's a lot of, I feel like there's a lot of like he say, she say stuff, right? Let's get into it, right? So where you at with philosophy? Where you at with Christianity? Because it's no secret. People know you. They're listening. They recognize your face. They recognize the shark tooth on you, right? Where are you at? Like, because I know you studied the Bible before, but I feel like you always had something else you were clinging on to. So I guess for me, like, I want to understand is why is it that you're going your own path than the path of Christianity? Because I don't want to say the path of God, because everybody has different, viewpoints.
Exactly.
So why instead of going the path of Christianity, you chose your own path? That's what I want to understand. Because we study the Bible a lot, and then, like I said, not everybody's gonna, everybody gonna find their own outlet. I believe my outlet's the most valid. You might believe your outlet's the most valid. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously, at the end of the day, only one of us is going to be right.
Exactly.
I mean, that's how I feel. But, where are you at right now, like, with, I don't know, like, philosophy, religion? Because I feel like those are some of the most important aspects of man today. Philosophy, religion, psychology. So where are you at? I guess, just answer the question first. Why did you dub us to go your own path?
I would never dub you guys. I would never do that. You know what I mean? I support you guys, actually.
That's a good thing.
Of course. I gotta support you guys, right? But for me, I like to say, usually when people ask me where I'm at or what am I?
Yeah, like, what are you?
I'm spiritual, right? That's pretty much it. I'm just spiritual, right? I'm very open-minded.
There's like a negative connotation to that word in society. When you say I'm spiritual, I'm just for you. You probably know, but anytime someone says I'm spiritual, everybody just rolls their eyes.
Yeah, they'd be like, this guy
is that spiritual guy.
You know what I'm saying? I be doing the same thing because I understand that people, when they say spiritual, you can see when they're talking, right? It's like, bro, you're just talking about the same points and constellations and Taurus and
Virgo. What's your sign, bro? What's your sign?
The money sign.
What's that?
The money sign?
I don't know, bro.
The money sign.
I don't follow the sign.
The dollar sign.
You follow the constellations. I don't follow them, bro.
The money sign. Dollars. Nah, Virgo.
Virgo?
Yeah.
My wife's a Virgo. That's what's up. When's your birthday? July or August?
September.
Oh, so you I'm a Libra, so you're right before the deadline then.
Like, all I know is that Virgos are the best.
Amen.
Even though I don't like people saying that, but I'm gonna say it right now, Virgos are the best.
Yeah, okay. Virgos be having their opinions. They'll die on that rock.
Hey, possibly. You never know, man.
So okay. So if someone asks you, so what are you? like I'm just saying for the Bible, you know, they asked Jesus like, who do they say you are? You know, if someone says, Gabe, who do you say you are? You're gonna say spiritual.
Nah, if anything, I just say I'm a spiritual realist.
A spiritual realist.
Yeah.
All right. So what does that pertain in? Because you know, for you of most people, you stand on your like, because I don't know, like. I feel like I meet people and like they stand on their beliefs, but at the same time, like they're kind of like shaky, you know. But for you, like you stand on your stuff, you know what I mean. So how deep is this that you can stand on this stuff, your spiritual realism or whatever it's called, over like Christianity? You know, like why is this so important to you? Like, who introduced this to you? Or do you just thinking of stuff and then...
It's just me. I'm telling you, man, when you sit down and just think about things, man, everything, all the knowledge that you need, all the questions that you have to, that you need answered, they'll just come to you, literally.
That's a tough take, bro.
I'm telling you,
bro,
man.
hold up, man. I'm telling you. How much you been drinking, bro?
Nah, man, you tripping.
No, I mean, bro. You said, all right, you said, whatever you want to think of in life, right?
There's a difference, though. Right?
All right, go ahead. You said whatever you think of, it'll come to you. Like, so when you say it comes to me, right? Are you talking about your rationale, or is it that's what I'm saying? Like, we got to put opinion, facts, and feelings. Those are three different factors, right?
Well,
So, or are they all the same to you?
No, because you have facts and logics, and then you have opinions and emotions and feelings and whatnot.
Exactly.
So that would be separate.
There's a lot of different buckets, right? So when you say a statement like, okay, well, whatever you want to know in life, it'll come to you, what bucket does that come out of?
I will say that it depends on the perspective, right? Not the worldly perspective, right? So whenever I say that the answers will come to you, I'm not exactly saying like, you've never done business before, and then I know you're just asking yourself questions, and then from there, oh, well, if I do this will work. No, I'm not really talking about that. I'm talking about like a spiritual perspective, right? And like feelings based and whatnot, right? What do I do in this situation? How do I act? How would I have acted if I was in this place or in that place, right? Just different things like that. It's somewhat ambiguous. But it's not all about facts exactly, because at the end of the day, the primary thing that humans, right, of the flesh, right, the primary thing that we use, if anything, is feelings. True. That's probably the first thing, and it is the first thing, right? And then from there comes, wait, hold on, let me hold on to my feelings real quick. Let me hold off of that reaction, and then from there, let me think logically about this, and then Yeah.
I remember one time we got in this argument where like you said like, is the sky blue? And then you said you was like, yo, but if it's black, if it's red, then that's your belief. I'm like, bro, if I look at the sky and the sky is blue, but you think it's red, but we both know it's blue. Yeah. You know, that's why I'm saying when we're talking about feelings and facts, I feel like there's a clear line.
There's a difference, though. Okay. Because I'm using an analogy, right? So, for example, right, for the viewers, right? Just think about it, right? If I and Steven have grown up, right? Different schools, right? We don't know each other. And then from there, he was born that if he saw this color right here, black, right? It's black, right? Yeah, black.
See, this guy, you see how he's already trying to do loopholes, bro? Like, he's already with the loopholes, man. Like,
check this out, right?
There's fact to that. It's black.
No. Because we use facts in the world,
right? Get some more of this.
So check this out, right? For the viewers, if this is black, we all know this is black, of course, right? But as let's say, for example, right? If I grew up and I truly looked at this color as the color red, and throughout my whole entire life, being taught through school, the teachers keep on telling me that this color red that I truly see as red is black, then I will see that as that red color being black. And he normally sees it as black. I've been taught to be told that a color that is not black is black throughout my whole entire life. So we're going to have two different perspectives. We're going to perceive things in a different way.
So I see the angle, right? I do see the angle, facts is subjective to the person. right? But what's not subjective to you? You know, because obviously we have a little. I mean, the color is the hey, it's black. You know, like don't get your ass twisted. Audio, video. Look at the wall. It's black. It's not red.
It's black.
But yeah. You know, but what to you is not subjective? Is there anything that in the world that's not subjective, or is everything perspective and subjective to the person? Like, can you look? Can something you like the sun? Is it universally the sun, or like, oh no, if I think it's the moon, it's the moon? Like, is there anything that you can say that's not based off feelings or rationale? That's just like, hey, like this is what it is, and if you don't want to accept it, you know.
Well, that's what we just spoke about as an analogy, right? So it's just a way to explain something. But of course, when it comes to like truly realistic stuff that we live in, yes, the sun is, the sun and it's hot, right? Yes, the sky is blue because of this, whatever, waves or whatever in the ocean, things like that. But we have to do it like that because within the world, we have to interact with each other, right? And we can't be saying that the sun is blue or whatever. No, we have to keep things simple and plain so that then we could interact around the world, you know what I mean? So we have to keep it like that.
So what about God?
God?
What about God?
Well, that's subjective.
So God is subjective, all right? So that you're basically saying that God is whatever you want it to be.
In a sense, yeah.
So, I can worship the sand, and it can be God.
Yep.
I can worship, what about that? What if I say I worship the devil? Would that be God?
Yep.
Or he would be your God?
Not my God.
Oh, well, I'm just saying, to that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So you're saying, so even if somebody's wrong in their subjectivity, you feel like their intentions would bring them to the same goal. Or different. I'm not going to say wrong. So let's say, I worship God in heaven, and then you're an Egyptian, and you worship the God of sand, right? Do you feel like, well, we both have the intention of worshiping a higher being, so regardless if you have it right or wrong, that's subjective, because this is what my God is that, but your God is this, but we're going to the same purpose.
Not exactly, no.
Okay, so explain that, explain that. So, talk to me about who is God?
To me, God is just the creator.
God is the creator.
That's to me. I don't put anything on what God is. God is, what's the word? Unfathomable. Unfathomable. Is that the word? I can't even speak it correctly.
You're the one with the higher language. You got
barely, bro.
You got that higher language.
No, bro, no.
Ascendant,
Unfathomable,
transcendent,
right?
Unfathomable.
Look, he is this entity, right, that we can't even conceive of. We don't even understand what he is, right? God is God. But at the end of the day, right, to me, what I also believe, right, is that God could be anything because God is all. God is above all. God is all. God exists in all because he created all.
So you're saying that mic next to your mouth is God?
Yeah, he could be.
Come on.
He could be.
Come on.
He could be.
Come on.
Is his name? Did God create everything?
Man created the mic. God created man. Create everything? He created man, and man created the mic.
Did God create everything?
In essence.
Did God plan out everything? Does God know the past, present, and future?
He does. He's omnipresent.
Exactly, right?
So you're saying right now, that mic in your hand is God.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that it could be.
Come on, bro. Come on.
To me, I don't have an object as to what God is. God is just God. That's just.
So God can be anything.
It could be anything.
I agree with that statement. A God can be anything. A God can be your job. A God can be your. But when we're talking about the physical or the spiritual entity of God, who is he?
Okay, so think of this, right?
The spiritual entity.
Actually, not think of this.
The person that created the earth, who is he?
God. That's all. What do you think God is?
I look at him as the ruler, the spiritual entity up in heaven, the creator, the worship, that person that created the earth in 7 days, everything like that. I don't look at God as anything, like the Egyptians, they worship the sun, they worship the stars, and God looked down upon that, I mean, he was he was he was angry in his, I'm reading book of Jeremiah right now, and they sent the prophet to Jerusalem because of their sin and how they didn't realign themselves with God. Right? So when I think of God, I think of, this is the heavenly creator, the ruler who created the earth. So when you think of God, who God is, who would you say he is? Like, do you have the same concept as me?
I have the same concept, but of course, how could I say? To me, God just is God. Like, God is all. God is above all. God is within all. God is God. That's just the way I look at it.
So do you think he's like do you think he's alive today?
If I think he's alive? No, I wouldn't know.
What do you think?
I mean, he could be, he could not be.
Come on, bro. Do you think he's alive? Yes or no?
He could be, he could not be.
Come on, bro.
That's what I'm saying.
So do you
it gets a little bit more intricate.
So that's what I'm saying. So like, if I mean, it's intricate, but it's still like, you're dancing around the question. Yes or no? Is God alive?
He could be.
I mean, yes, he could be, but do you personally believe he's alive right now? Yes. Sir.
To me, to keep myself sane in this world, then yes.
So yes, he's alive. Okay. Do you think he's alive? So if he's alive, do you think God has opinions? Or do you think it's more of like a...
No. What I think is that God does what he does, and that's that. And then we put our own opinions, our own feelings onto that thing that he does.
Give me an example of that.
Let's say, for example, it could be simple, right? Someone walking, right? That thing that person is doing, just walking, that's all it is, just walking, right? But then for that person, they could say, oh, man, I'm getting a good workout. For me over here, I could be looking at them, I'm like, man, the way they're walking is horrible, man. What the heck? Right? At the end of the day, we're putting opinions on that thing that is, right? But apart from that, God is just doing what God does, and that's it.
It's interesting. So where is your correlation to God today? Like, what correlation do you say you have with God? Like, do you think you have any like come together with God, or it's just like God's doing his thing, he created the earth and these things for me, and then I'm doing my thing? Or like, do you and God ever like, is there any correlation between you and God?
Yeah, the correlation between me and God would be understanding that every single thing in this existence that we are a part of, every single little thing has a purpose, right? It just does what it does, right? God put it there to be there for a reason, right? Yeah. We put our feelings towards it, but then the only way for us to truly be connected to God, in my point of view, right, would be this neutrality point, right?
Neutrality.
Not in the sense of neutrality where it's like, oh, I don't care, that's what I mean. No, I'm talking about in the sense of understanding both perspectives, and then from there, understanding that because we have those two perspectives and that thing just is, the just is God. We understand that the just is, and then that's our connection to God. That's how you become more peaceful.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's an interesting like way to think, because it's like, I feel like it takes away accountability in my aspect. I feel like it's because you gotta think about it. Because if God just is, right, and like if we just kind of look at life as like, hey, this is this scenario and that's that scenario, and God's there, but it's not connected in that aspect. I mean, I feel like it's a more peaceful life, and I feel like it's a more I feel like you put matters into your own hands more. But I do feel like it's a scary life, because what if God does have opinions? So you don't think God has opinions on how we dress, how we wear? Do you think he cares about those things, how we dress, how we wear?
No, because God controls everything and God created everything.
So you feel like so I guess free will. You don't think there's any free will. You feel like if things happen, it just happens because God allowed it, and like we can't really change our destiny, I guess you could say.
That's a tricky subject now, because I can understand that we could possibly have free will, or we could possibly have predetermined paths that we are walking within step by step.
Yeah, because like that's the thing. Because I had a Calvinist on the podcast. You know, I mentioned to you off the air, and like, you know, he was more on like, hey, like we have predetermined paths that we all go on, right? But the Bible says we have free will. You know, so that kind of takes that aspect away. But for you, like, do you believe that, you know? Like, what are your thoughts on free will? You know,
So,
if you know what I'm saying, if God has opinions, right? Do you feel like He gives you an option to choose right and choose wrong, or do you feel like those aspects aren't even equivalent?
So that's the thing, right? So let's say, for example, if we do have free will, right? Actually, no. Let me backtrack. Let me go into the predetermined path first.
Yeah.
Right. So in the Bible, right? For example, I'm not exactly a scholar in the Bible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But in the Bible,
You should be. I mean, I feel like, I don't know. I feel like at least before you get to like, you know, an opinion or, you know, I don't know. Cause I feel like people's lives, it's their livelihood, you know what I mean? And I feel like if you don't have like, hey, like I researched Catholicism, I researched Christianity, I researched Muslim, and I understand every aspect of it, and this is what I believe. I feel like, to me at least, that gives you that peace of mind, right? But to not be a scholar on it stuff, it's like, okay, there's holes in your understanding just because you don't have a full picture. You know what I'm saying? Like you only know what you understand. Right, until somebody else comes and gives you a bigger map. You know what I mean? Like that's why, like flat earthers, they're like, okay, well, this is all we know. Until someone said, all right, let's jump on a plane and I'll show you. You know what I mean?
That's the thing, though. That involves the worldly aspect, right? So let's say, for example, right? I think I was gonna say something real quick. Nah, but dang, I was gonna say something. It's whatever. I'll just go into like actually, what were you saying right now?
Kind of forgot, but I think I was saying that what I don't know, like what I don't know. I mean, I know I was touching on the aspect of why I don't know, like why you follow God the way you do, or what was it?
I got you, because you were talking about how my path is kind of like spread out. It's not exactly like in line with something.
Yeah,
like let's say like Islamic, beliefs or Christianity. So basically, the thing is that for me, it involves everything. That's the piece there. It involves everything. So I'm not exactly closed-minded to only Christianity or only Islamic religion or only the Buddhist way or only the Hinduist way, right? I involve everything, and I understand that everything could be true. So then why negate anything in a philosophical point of view?
So I see what you're saying, but somebody got to be right.
Hey.
You don't think somebody's right?
Hey, if someone's right, then the other one's wrong, right?
Yeah. So come on, bro. Somebody's got to be right. You know, there's thousands of religions. You don't think somebody's right?
It could be.
So instead of you, like I said, doing the research of every, or the most important religions, and like, all right, like I'm a scholar of this, I'm a scholar of this, I'm a scholar of this. Like I'm gonna recommend you a book to read. There's a book about different religions. I think you'd be good with it. I think it's oh man, I forgot what it was called. I'll send it to you after. But it basically has it basically has this concept of like all the religions and like why Christianity stands out. Right? I'm gonna send it to you. I think it'll be a good book for you to read.
I bet.
I think it's like something like A Man's Verdict or something. I don't know, but it's a good book. But my aspect of that is like, I don't know. I just feel like somebody got to be right.
That's
and it's like if you don't, I don't know. It's like you got to choose a side. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you do you have a favorite sports team?
No, not exactly.
Come on, bro.
Yeah. I don't be watching sports.
What do you have that's all right? Aldo, your favorite boots brand?
Yeah, probably.
All right. See, I got you. I got you. I got some middle ground. All right.
But this is all in the worldly point of view, though.
Come on. All right. I got you. I got you in one.
There's different levels.
I got you in one. All right. So Aldo is your favorite boots brand, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. So you got all the boots. You got Zara.
Yeah. No.
You got H&M.
Maybe.
You got you know, you got Forever 21.
Yeah.
You got all these Boots brands, but one of them's the best, and it's Aldo, right? And I think it's the same with religion. No. You know, there's a lot of great. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a lot of useful religions, right? I'm not like for me, like, I don't know, like you'll talk to people and they're like, oh, they're all heathens. Like, no, bro. Like, there's benefits to every. To me, at least, there's benefits to every religion. They're not, to me, they're not always correct, but there's benefits to all of them. Like, there's a benefit to wearing, you know, some cheap H&M boots. You know, your feet are covered. You know, you can get to where you need to be. The same with religion, right? There's all these different religions, right? Islam, like, there's probably some benefits. You probably learn a better discipline with life. You know what I mean? You probably have a higher thinking. You know, Christianity, you know, there's the discipline, there's the different lifestyle. You know, like, there's all these different religions, but, you know, one of them got to be right. The same way, like, how one of them's your favorite shoe, with religion, come on, bro. One of them got to be right.
That's the thing with religion. It coincides with philosophy, and philosophy isn't exactly about this is right, this is right,
wrong.
this is right. It's about just building the mind and your knowledge about the world that we live in, the life that we live in, the existence that we live in. How do we manage or how do we guide ourselves, you know, through a better path in this world that we live in?
So instead of choosing, you just choose them all.
Not exactly. Instead of choosing, I come to the understanding that any of these different philosophies or religion could be the truth. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's based on God to decide which one it is. You know what I mean?
That's true. So then why not just choose God?
I did.
But you said God can be a mic.
Yeah, he could be.
So
I'm not. That's the thing. I'm not denying it.
Yeah. See, it's an interesting way to think, but like to me at least, it's almost risky. You know, it's like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like it's not risky, but it's. I feel like there's a naiveness to it. You know, I feel like there's like the little sense of like, all right, well, you know, if you can't beat them, join them. But instead of me joining one, I'm joining them all. You know, so if I join them all, I can't lose.
Nah, because that's kind of disingenuous, right, to every single religion, right?
It kind of is. Right,
just joining everything. No. I'm not saying that I'm joining them. I'm just saying that I can understand.
There's benefits to all, right?
That there's benefits to all, and that any of those could be true. So why would I choose any of them?
I see the concept, you know, because like I think, like you said earlier, like, you know, if you're raised and this is red, like, you know, it's gonna be red to you.
Exactly.
If I'm raised and it's black to me. The same thing with religion. You're saying if I'm raised Islamic. Islamic is going to be what's right to me, right? And Islamic is going to be what I know. So for you to show me something else, there's going to be a bias to that because, like, all I know is Islamic, right? So that's why for me, when I say it's so important to be a scholar on these different, I mean, because I feel like there's only like maybe 5 main religions, right? That's why I say it's so important to be a scholar of every religion, or because you're never gonna really know, you know, what you're missing out on until you try it or you know, study it or go all in on it. You know,
that's the funny thing though, because I truly believe, right, with this mindset that I have, that if I really wanted to, I could go into any religion and truly devote myself. Yeah, so then from there, because of that mentality as well, I'm kind of being disingenuous to all the other religions, because I understand that if I was to leave this one, then go into I could truly devote myself into, you know, so it's like, it's kind of weird in a sense.
Yeah, because you're just saying like, okay, well, I understand that every religion has benefits to it, you know, and you can grow from any one of them. So it's just like, well, you know, I don't want to leave what I'm leaving now. Like, I can devote fully to Christianity, or I can devote fully to Islamic, or vice versa. But I'm gonna choose to be this path. But not saying I couldn't do what you're doing, but this is what I'm gonna decide.
Exactly. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. I'm telling you,
it's
I be chilling, bro.
Nah, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like you're just, I don't know. You just losing. I just like the responsibility aspect of it. You're just kind of.
I have responsibility.
I mean, yeah, you have responsibility to yourself and things, but I feel like the responsibility of religion, you're not by taking this stance, you're kind of, I don't know, I just feel like you're naive. I feel like there's a naiveness to it that you're not seeing. It's just like, I honestly believe somebody got to be right.
There could be a bit of naiveness into it, but then you could also say that any other thing is naive, right? Because you could devote yourself into it, but then be naive to every single other thing as well. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm saying, right? That every single little thing has pros and cons to it. It's good or bad. You can find the good or bad in every single little thing, right?
Yeah.
So same way how we could say that we can find the benefits in every single religion, we can also find the detriments in every single religion as well. You know what I mean?
It's interesting, bro. Like it honestly is interesting. I don't know, man. I just feel like, I get to speak from the Bible.
Yeah,
the Bible,
exactly.
The Bible says, the road's narrow, and it says that, few find it. And when we're talking about few, we don't know, like few to us can be many to God, or few to God can be actually few. So, if like I said, like if Christianity says, few will find it, and like the road's narrow, like for me at least, like I want to be on the road that. So basically you're saying that what's right to me might not be what's right to you, but not saying that we're not on the same goal.
Repeat that statement one more time.
So what's right to me might not be what's right to you.
Okay.
Like I might believe, Christianity, the God of the Bible, is the main God. But you might believe the main God is, I don't know, I guess, you believe he's a higher being. You got to believe God's a higher being, but you might not believe he's the God of the Bible. Right? Exactly. So we both believe that there's a God, but you just have a different spin on it.
Exactly.
I don't know, man. You almost sound like so you believe there's a God. You just don't. I don't know. Do you?
I don't exactly put the same God that you have in your Bible as my God. You get what I mean?
Yeah. And I feel like that. I feel like other religions do the same thing. They're like, okay, well, your God in the Bible is different from my God.
Exactly. So what makes it any different from me, right? Because I'm saying philosophy, right? But just to be respectful, I could say that I have my own religion.
Yeah, in essence, you can say
exactly.
That,
beautiful, I'm telling you.
It sounds scary, bro. It's just mad scary.
But why would it be scary, though?
It's like
you're one with God. You understand that God is everything. God created all. God is above all. God is what it is. And we put our own feelings and opinions on what that thing is. Why? Have you ever tried not feeling, not having emotions? Even for 1 second?
Trying to have it with you right now.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I tried to do that yesterday, man. Yo, you go. I ain't gonna lie. You go like brain dead, in a sense, right?
Come on, bro.
But the thing is that feelings is only worldly. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We
have a brain and we process things like that, right? We always feel, right? Even if you get hit, I felt that, right? Even the animal, right? Hey, you have a gazelle and a lion chasing the gazelle, whatever.
Yeah.
Right. The animal's, that thing bit me. Get away from me. It's gonna run. You know what I mean? It has feelings, right? It might not be as intellectual as us and being able to process. I feel this because of this, and then because of this, and also but it still feels. That's the basic thing of organisms.
So I guess my question for you is, you know the story of Christianity and everything like that with Jesus and all that.
Yeah, somewhat.
So, so Jesus, do you believe he existed?
He could have.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, yeah, obviously he could have, but what do you personally think? Do you think he existed?
Me, literally, I personally think that he could have. I don't know.
You don't know? Yeah. I mean, people say there's manuscripts and things that show that he existed, right? The Bible, the New Testament, it's there. People wrote down Jesus in the flesh, living. You can go to museums and they have like super old Bibles that talk about scripture, the same scripture that we're reading now. Like my only thing is like there's evidence to Christianity,
and there's also a bunch of feelings.
There is a bunch of feelings too
with the faith,
faith. Faith is a feeling, but You know, faith is, it talks about faith as confidence in what you hope for, assurance in things you don't see. So there is a feeling to that aspect. But the main thing with Christianity is that there is a lot of fact to it as well.
That's completely understandable.
You know, so that's why, like, when we talk about fact, it's like, okay, like, you know, like, there's manuscripts, there's people that talk about Jesus. You know, there's different books that reference Jesus. You know, there's different religions that reference, like, floods and things that happen in the Bible. You know, we can hop on a plane and we can go to, like, an old museum and we can read a Bible from, like, the 1600s or whatever, and like, it says the same thing that you read on your phone today. You know, there's a lot of fact to Christianity. You know what I mean? So that's why with your religion, right? I mean, if you want to call it that, what is it more based on? Is it more based on fact, or is it understanding and feelings?
It's more based on, of course, because, I mean, there's not exactly facts behind it, right? But it's definitely more so based on feelings, awareness, you know, knowledge about yourself and the world in terms of, you know, the universal aspect of things, not the worldly aspect of things, right? It's kind of like, let's say, for example, right, because we're talking about facts and fiction, or not facts and fiction,
Facts and
facts and feelings, opinions, right? Let's say, for example, you remember that one basketball player? He was like 5'3", Muggsy Jones or Muggsy
Bogues, bro.
Muggsy Bones,
That's
right?
a fact.
What? That he was a basketball player?
That he's a basketball player, and his name is Muggsy. That's a fact.
Now, check this out, right? Could we assume, right, that 99% of basketball players are above 6 foot?
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a known fact, yeah.
Exactly, right? But this guy was like 5'3". Okay. Logically speaking, with the facts, right, he was not going to make it in the NBA. But what did he do? He felt it in his soul. He said, you know what? This is what I want to do, and I want to do it now, and I'm going to make it happen with his heart, with his feelings, you know what I mean, with his emotions.
But there's still fact. But the fact is he probably shot better than 90% of players back then. He probably is more athletic than 95% of the population. He probably shot better than 95% of the population. He probably is more driven. Driven, that's a feeling. You know, but I feel like, I see what you're saying, but I feel like there's still facts as to why he was in the position he was in. He's still athletic. He's still a great player. He still shot the better. He probably shoot the better. Yeah, he shot the ball better than majority of the population. He's probably more athletic. I mean, he could dunk the basketball. You know,
exactly,
at 5'3".
Right? Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like, but looking at it, you're kind of like, okay, he's 5'3", but his legs were probably like thick as a horse. Remember, and he could just dunk it.
You still have other people in this world that are trying to do the same thing, and they cannot accomplish it. I mean, what did he have? He had the spirit.
He had he was driven. You know, I gotta think about there's facts in that. The fact is that he trained. You know, the fact is that he went to the gym. You know, those are facts. Like, that
can also be subjective.
He can't. But the thing is, he can't get there without those facts. You know, like I said, you can think as much as you can. Like, you know, like right now, like let's say you want to be a doctor. You can think all day and all night that you want to be a doctor, but the fact is you're not. But
the fact is that philosophy doesn't have to involve facts.
Why not?
What do you mean? It's about expanding the mind and trying to understand the world, and with different ideas. It's infinite. It's infinite. Philosophy is infinite.
I understand that.
There's not like a set like goal to. No, it's just thinking about life, what it's about, what you feel as though life is about, right? And then from there, just expanding on it over time.
So, what do you think, bro? Why are we here? Why are we here on Earth, and what's going to happen after? Explain this to the viewers.
Only God knows.
What do you, bro? Come on, man. You just went on this whole thing on, life is only what we think. So, what do you think? What's our purpose on Earth now, and what's going to happen? What do you think right now? What's going to happen after?
What our purpose on Earth is to do is to just do what you want to do.
Just do whatever.
Just do whatever. God created it. You know what I mean? God put it into existence, right? God is within everything. He created everything.
So I can just be my purpose can just be drugged out on drugs and just
there's good within that. Yeah, you are an example of me of what I don't want to be.
I don't know, man.
There's good within it, man. I'm telling you.
Man.
If you look at every single aspect in the world, you can find good and bad within it. And then those.
What good is there in a drugged out person on the street? There's no good in that.
What do you mean? He feels good.
Come on, bro.
That is it's so basic as that. I'm telling you.
But that's your person. You don't really know how he feels.
What do you mean?
You don't know if, like, bro, a lot of people are homeless and things. Like, there's so much bad in the earth, and you're saying there's good in all that bad.
Yeah. So look, right? You have what the thing is, right? And then from there, you have the opinion of whether it's good or bad. And then from there, something could be good, right, in your perspective. But then you can trickle it down, right? There's good within bad, and there's also bad within good. You can keep on trickling it down. It's infinite.
So there's no bad in this world.
That's what I'm saying.
So what's bad in this world?
Nothing is bad. Nothing is bad because God made it into existence. God, how are we gonna say it, right? If God put it into existence, right? Don't take it from the biblical standpoint, right?
Yeah. All right.
Try to pull yourself away from that.
I'm trying. I am trying.
If God is above all and created all, right? There is a purpose for every single little thing in existence, right?
Mm.
How could you then go and say, with your worldly point of view, oh, that's bad, went to someone else, that's good. And then you can also go, let's say, for example, right, if someone holding the door, right, and then from there they open the door, they close it, and then from there someone's coming up and they didn't hold the door for that person, right, you would probably say, oh, wow, he's horrible for not holding the door, right. While for the other person, right, they can be like, I don't really care, it's cool, it's whatever, right.
So, I don't know, man. So,
let's say, for example, you can even bring it down to I'm not sure if you were saying it right, it'd be like offing, right? Offing people. You know what I mean? One person can off another person, right? Oh my God, he did that to the person. That person not living no more. But come to find out, that person was a serial killer.
So it did get. So
there's dualities in this world. That's
okay.
what.
Do demons exist?
They could.
What do you think?
To me, no.
Demons don't exist to you.
No, until I see it. You know what I mean? But they could exist. I'm not denying it.
Yeah.
You know? So, if you tell me that if we're like walking by a house, right, and there's like, and someone tells me, yo, there's like demons and ghosts, I'm not gonna go in there. Why would I want to go in there regardless, right?
So, but you don't know if it's real or not.
I've never experienced it. The only thing I could really say that I've experienced before was when I was a kid, back in Tallahassee, right?
Yeah.
We were in the apartment. I was by myself at home, right? And I'm walking down this hallway, and all I felt was a tap right on my shoulder. Like
I actually heard that before. I've heard that before. I don't know. I forgot who told me. Maybe you told me that.
Probably. But I felt that. I looked back. I'm like, what the heck?
Well, actually, I read that, I read that in a Facebook post, actually. Somebody said, like, you know, one time they're walking downstairs and, like, they felt taps on their shoulder and, like, they were, like, freaked out for the whole day, you know, and, like, I don't know. Like, you had a similar experience, which was actually pretty funny.
Well, for me, I wasn't freaked out. I was just like, what the heck was that? I always remember it, though. Like, ever since that day, I always remember it. But apart from that, you know what I mean?
So you don't think demons... So, you don't think demons exist?
What I say is that I don't deny it.
You don't deny that they exist. But do you think they do?
No, I really don't. I mean, I haven't experienced it yet, so...
But is that something that you would want to experience, or is that something you're afraid to experience, or you don't think there's any benefit? Because you say there's good in everything.
Yeah, there's good in demons, yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on, man.
Why would I want to be near demons? Because I
You said there's good in everything. No.
So think about it.
There's good in everything.
Think about it, right? If there's demons, right, in this world, right, and I'm knowledgeable of it, and I know where they're at, I'm gonna stay away from it. That's good. I'm knowledgeable about the fact that there are demons.
What is so? Name me 3 good things about demons right now.
About demons?
Name me 3 good things.
They keep people in check, right? You can stay away from them. What else is something good about demons? They exist. I'm telling you, man, if you really, truly think about it, there's good in it. And that's the thing, right? With good and bad, you don't have to keep on naming and naming and naming. Just having one good or bad clears you already.
Yeah,
it's similar to, let's say, for example, sin.
You believe this stuff, man?
Yes. Let's say, for example, sin, right?
Hold up, bro. Hold up.
Do you put?
I'm still on this demon.
No. Do you put levels to sin?
To God, it's all the same.
Exactly. So then, to me, all bad and all good is the same. No matter how much better something is, it's still good, and no matter how much worse something is, it's still bad. That's the way I put it.
Come on, Gabe. Let's be real.
But by understanding,
So you're telling me there's good in demons.
yeah,
That's a scary approach to take, man.
how I can stay away from them. If they're real, I'm gonna stay away from them. The
But
hell?
why are you staying away from something that's good?
Because I don't want to deal with it.
Why wouldn't you want to deal with something that's good?
The thing is that you're trying to put it in the sense of like, oh, they're like very like angelic and whatnot, and then no. The good doesn't exactly have to be beneficial to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
because there's devil worshippers and things like that.
for example, right, if you have a, would you say that spiders are good?
Yeah, they have a benefit to the world. They kill insects and things. If you have a house, they
Exactly.
kill bugs.
But if they get to you, let's say like a tarantula, right? And then
It bites you, yeah. You're
exactly,
bad
right.
at that point.
Because you have the understanding that that tarantula can do that to you, you understand that there is good in what it's doing, but then you also understand, you know what, let me stay away from it. That's good to you. I can stay away from
So
it.
demons are good for the world because they put people in check.
Yeah, if they exist.
I don't know, man.
I'm telling you.
But it's just you're on some scary stuff, bro. Like it's
I'm not
like,
scared, man, because at the end of the day, God made it happen. God made it what it is, in
Yeah.
my perspective. So if God made it exist, then why would I question that? How am I gonna say how am I gonna say that a spider is bad when God put it into existence?
We're talking about demons, bro. We're
It's
talking
the same
about.
thing.
So what are you afraid of in this world? What do you
I'm
fear?
afraid of, in the worldly sense, I'm afraid of many things.
What do you fear? Name 3 things you fear. Do you fear death? I would if I was you.
Nah,
You don't fear death? No.
because it's put in place for a reason.
What do you think's gonna happen? You think it's like? Because some people think it's like heaven or hell. Some people think it's like you're born again.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do you have an opinion on that right now? Or
For me, what happens after death is what God, puts in.
but what God? What God though? God Christianity? God of
No, my God.
So what does your God think?
I don't know what He thinks. He's too divine for me to understand.
Come on, bro. But where do you get that? I don't know. Like, I guess for me, like, where do you get this? Like, where do you get your understanding of God from? Like, did somebody teach you this, or is this your opinions on God?
If anything, what happens to me many times is that, like I said, I'll sit down, I'll think about things for hours, I'll decipher my mind and, try to come up with analogies to be able to, like, find my way of thinking in terms of the philosophical point of view. Then maybe I'll go online and then I'll type in my statements on things. Maybe some other people will have a similar point of view. Maybe they'll expand upon it.
Yeah.
Right? But the basis already came from my head already. You know what I mean? So it's not like I'm going online and saying, oh, what do you think about this? Or what do you... No, I'm like, this is this, boom. And then from there, people will like,
Yeah, I mean, there's millions of people in the world. Somebody have the same opinion. For me, I guess, the scary aspect of it, it's like, okay, you're saying demons can be good.
Mm-hmm. If they exist, yeah.
If they exist. Mm-hmm. So you don't think they exist?
Do you not think that demons are good?
No.
Why would you not think that?
What good do they do?
Let's say, for example, right? If you saw, same thing, right? Tarantula or a snake or a cobra, right? You're like, oh my God, the cobra is so good. Oh my, it looks so cool. Let me touch it. What happens? It bites you. You should have known that it was bad and it would have been good to you to understand that and stay away from it.
Yeah, but, I just look at, my aspect of it. It's like, okay, I know that demons are here to deceive people, to get them to hell.
But so basically this is what I'm saying, right? I'm not saying that demons are just good, right? They're also bad in their own way. I mean, they have both of the spectrum. They're good and bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm like, okay, what good would they do?
Staying away from it. It could be as simple as that. The most basic thing is feelings.
Sorry for the coughing, but it's just scary stuff, man. Like, I don't know,
It's scary because you have your own beliefs and you have, heaven and hell and whatnot, things like that. For me, I can understand that it could be true, heaven and hell, right? If I go to hell, I have to accept it because I am following my own path. You know what I mean? if I go to God, right? If I die, for example, and then I meet God, right? And he's like, yeah, you're going to hell because you have not been following exactly what I said. I have to accept it.
You're going to be okay with that.
I have to accept it. That's what comes with peace.
You know how bad hell is, bro?
It's pretty bad, yeah.
And that's something you're okay with?
I have to accept it. All because you accept something or understand something doesn't mean that you have to agree with it.
It just feels like there's like a naiveness to this, man. Like, I don't know, like...
No naiveness. There's acceptance. That's all it is.
Yeah, but like, I don't know, like, it's like if you can put yourself in Aldo shoes, you're going to put yourself in Aldo's shoes. Why would you wear, knockoff brands if you can wear Aldo's? You know what I'm saying? But for you, it's just like, well, if I'm giving knockoffs, I'm going to just wear them, But it's just like, but you have the choice to put on the Chelsea or the Aldo boots. Why would you put on the off-brand boots?
Yeah, that's why I chose my God. I'm not just putting on any God. I'm putting on my God, you know what I mean?
But your God, it's...
My God does what he has to do, and that's that.
But the thing is, but what is he based on? Like how did he come into flourishing?
What do you mean?
Like is he? You just feel like, okay, there's just a heavenly being and he's God. I mean, everyone knows there's a God. And you're saying he's a heavenly being and he created the world. But like,
I'm not even saying that he's heavenly. I'm just saying that he's God. That's it.
He's just God. I don't know, man. Like, so you're saying if you went to hell, if there's a hell to you, you'd be okay with it?
I would have to accept it. I wouldn't be. I'll be like, God damn, man, I gotta go to hell, man. What the heck?
But you say that.
But I have to accept it, though, right? Let's say, for example, right? Let's say you were in a battle, right? A gunfight, right? And then from there you have a homie, right? And he's like, you guys are pinned down, and then you got a homie. He's like, I'm gonna be the distraction, right? I'm gonna run over here. I'm gonna be the distraction, so that you guys can be safe, right? You're gonna be like, no, don't do that. Like, what the heck? I want you to come with me, but this is the only way. You know what I mean? So you wouldn't be okay with it, but you have to accept it.
It's just, I don't know, man. Like, if I was God and I was listening to you right now, like,
you're God.
Yeah, my God. If I was my God and I was listening to you right now, like,
yeah, I'm going to hell. You know what I mean?
I don't. You just listen to you and just like, man, like.
But you know what? God made me be the way I am.
But he gave you but like you said, you have that choice to choose a religion, but you choose, I mean, you said you have the ability to grab whatever, you could, like you said, tomorrow you can be like, all right, I'm going to be Islam. Or tomorrow, all right, I'm going to be Catholic. Like, you have that ability, but you're choosing your God, your neutral space.
We also, to touch on that point, right, we also somewhat veered off of the fate versus free will, right? Because this is all, if there is a God, right? And
I mean, you believe there's a God.
Right.
So there is a God.
And to be honest, right, I could also understand that there probably isn't.
Okay.
But to me, I like to think that there is. Right. But I can also understand that there probably isn't. Right. So, if there is a God, right, and he knows the past, present, and future, and he created everything that is existence, right? He knows the past, present, and future. He knows what's going to entail, right? Then from there, am I truly making free choices? It's already set in place. It's already predetermined.
I mean, like, my God gives us free will.
But he also knows the past, present, and future.
Yeah, he knows.
So he already knows who's going to go to hell, who's going to go to heaven. He's already set it in place. He's already set prior.
I see that aspect of it, but I think what people don't. I feel like a lot of time people they'll fail to realize is like, God knows the end goal, but we always have that opportunity. We all have that. Yeah, I mean, I feel like God at the end of the day, he'll know already. Like, this person is too sinful. I don't know.
No. Because the only way that would work is if God didn't know the end goal. And then once we got to the end goal, right, of like death, and then you were up there like, yo, you're either going to heaven or hell. Then from there, he will look at your history and then determine whether you should go to hell or not, right?
I mean, it's based off the Bible. I mean, the Bible, God says the word will judge us at the end of the day. So it's not like his feeling. It's like he can open the Bible and be like, all right, Is this the life you lived?
But he already knows what's gonna happen anyway. He's just literally just doing it just to do it when he already knows in the future you're gonna be this person. It doesn't exactly make sense.
I see that. I mean, I see that angle because I mean, if God's all knowing, then He should know. Like,
Yeah,
you know,
He's all knowing. He already knows what you're gonna do. He's already set in place how you're gonna live your life. Right?
I don't feel like it's necessarily like set. I see what you're saying. The aspect of like, okay, if He's all knowing, He'll know if you'll make it or not. I see that aspect, but I feel like that takes away the free will because I feel like we do have that choice.
But then, if we have the choice, then that means that He's not omniscient. He wouldn't know. So then, it doesn't. There's like a clash right there. There's a what's the word? There's just a clash.
Disconnect. You're saying there's gonna be a disconnect.
There's a disconnect. How can you be all knowing and know everything, the past, present, and future? But then
you said not know where
you wouldn't know. Yeah, up until you judged them that same day. It doesn't make sense. You know what I mean?
You're saying that your attorney right now is fixed. There's nothing that you can. So there's nothing you can do right now to change your fate.
No, what I'm saying is that it could be like that.
What do you think?
Me, to keep myself sane, right, I would like to think that we have free choice.
But you're saying it maybe it's not.
Exactly. So you just have to balance it. You know what I mean? Because if not, let's say, for example, right, if it was truly predetermined to be the way it was, right, I mean, we're just basically robots, right? In a sense, right? We're walking within the path of what is already predetermined to happen, right?
Yeah.
But if we have free choice and God doesn't exactly know what's going to happen up until Judgment Day, right? And He only bases where you go off of the word, right, of the Bible.
Yeah.
Then from there, that means that He doesn't know everything. You know what I mean? He's not omniscient, so it doesn't make sense.
I don't think the Bible necessarily. I feel like I'm not sure if the Bible necessarily says He's all knowing. I mean, I think it does.
Because if He's not all knowing,
maybe I'm not sure if it's physically says it or if it's implied. Because I feel like I don't know. Because I feel like a lot of things people will say, but in all actuality, it's not there. But through the character of God, you can like come to that conclusion. It's
like if He's not all knowing, right? Then you're worshiping a lesser God in a sense. You know what I mean? Rather than the true God that knows everything. The true God is ordering your God to tell you what to do. You know what I mean? And then this God that doesn't know the future, He's judging you on the day of based on your past. You know what I mean? It's a beautiful. It's
I wouldn't say it's beautiful, bro.
Not beautiful, but it's just something to think about. You know,
it ain't nothing to think about, bro.
Hey,
you said demons were good.
You're thinking about it right now.
I'm not thinking. I'm worried.
How?
I'm worried, bro. I'm worried for you.
How are you worried, man?
It's just, I don't know. You just like to say things like, I don't. Just for me, right? To say things like, you know, I'll have to. If I go to hell, I'll just have to accept it.
Okay, so let's say, for example, right? If you go to heaven, right? If you go to the gates of heaven and God is judging you or whatever, right? And then He says, you know what? You are not accepted into heaven. You have to go to hell. What would you do?
I mean, that's the thing. I would have to accept it the same way you do. But the thing is, it's one thing if I'm living my life to please God. That's another thing if I'm living my life to please my own God. You see what I'm saying? So me accepting that to me would throw me off and I would be sad. But like you said, I would have to accept it. Right? But for you it's different because like if you're not following, I mean obviously your God might be different and vice versa, but if you're doing everything you can to accomplish something and you don't accomplish it, that's going to be a letdowner. But if you're not doing everything to accomplish something and you don't accomplish it, you can't really be surprised, by the outcome. You see what I'm saying?
That's understandable.
But you see what I'm saying?
It's understandable.
Yeah, like, like you want to be a doctor, but you don't go to med school. You know what I mean? Like you can't be mad when you don't become a doctor in life.
Yeah, if you don't go to med school.
Exactly. The same with God. Like you can't be surprised if you don't make it to heaven if you're not living your life accordingly. You know, like there's not really like there's not really a conversation that needs to be made. Like, no, you haven't been living accordingly, so why would you even think that you're gonna make it to heaven? You know, and that's why I say I think it's the same aspect. You know, it's just for me, I'm worried. For me, at least, I'm worried for you because
look, use me as an example of what not to be.
It's like, I don't know, you say things like, I don't know, man, like, I just really think you should read the Old Testament of the Bible. Like, you should read, like...
But remember, this is the God of the Bible.
I mean, I guess my God, your God, different, you know, but the God of the Bible, at least, you know, he doesn't, he wouldn't be happy with the things that you're saying, you know, and I'm just saying that to you as a brother, like... You know, your religion, my religion, obviously different. You know, but for me, I believe my religion is correct.
Exactly.
You know, you believe your religion is correct. You know, so for me, thinking that my religion is correct, I just want to say to you, you know, the things that you're saying, the statements that you're making, like they're scary because, like,
in a biblical standpoint,
because you're. You know, the scripture in the Bible that says like God will give people up to their sinful desire, basically saying like, hey, this is what you want to do, like I'm gonna give you up to that, you know. And for me, when you say things like, if I get to hell, I accept it, and there's good in demons, like,
is that not weird to you? How
it's like.
It's not weird to you how he will give. What did you just say that he will give a person their sinful desires?
They give them up, yeah. Because you got to think about God can only do so much, bro. Like if you
what
don't,
do
like if you
God
don't want,
everything.
yeah, he could do anything. But like if you generally like, nah, screw God, or you know, like God, like he could only do so much to bring a person to him.
But he already knows what's going to happen in the future.
But we have a choice. That's the thing. Like you may not think we have a choice, but I'm telling you, we got a choice. You know, like you can be like, you know what, I'm tripping. You know, I'm tripping, guys. I'm capping. Like I'm gonna choose a religion. Like that's the thing. For most people, like, you know, I feel like, you know, doctrines be wrong, but they're kind of following the same God. So like they're in a sense they're risking. They're taking a risk. But for you, it almost seems like you're not even suiting up. You're just like, hey, this is my God.
I'm already suited up.
You know, and to me, it's like you're not even attempting to join the race. You know, you see what I'm saying? Like
I'm already in the race.
Because like, you know, Christianity, Catholicism, Judaism, they all follow like the same God. You know what I'm saying? And like, you know, all the religions are different, but at least you're at least you're starting the race. You know what I'm saying? At least you're suiting up. At least you might have a slow car, but at least you're suiting up, hoping that you finish the race and get to the end, right? And you can say like, yes, I finished the race, right? Me, it's like, okay, for me at least, my viewpoint is I might as well do everything that I can do correctly. I might as well follow the right God. I might as well follow His word, and I might as well stay away from sin. Right. So to me, at least, that's like, okay, if I'm gonna get in the race, I'm gonna have a coach. I'm gonna have a supporting cast. Right. I'm gonna have a nice NASCAR, like a fast one. You know what I mean? So I know, hey, if I don't finish this race, it's my fault, right? I have good tires on my car. I have a good engine. Like, it's like, hey, like, everything is here for you to finish the race. Opposed to me, when I think of other religions, like Judaism, all these different religions, like, hey, like, you're in the car, you're in the race, but you don't know if you're going to finish, right? So for me, in that aspect, it's like, it's a risk because, you know, okay, I might think of baptism this way. You might think of baptism that way. Like, you better hope you finish the race because we're following the same God, right? But for you, it's like you don't even have a car. It's like, I don't need to race. I don't need to start the race because I'm good.
It's already being driven.
You know, to me, that's the scary part because it's like, okay, you get to the end of the road and it's just like, man, like, you know, at least have a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least have a vehicle to at least start the race. You know what I mean? That's why, for me, I say I'm scared for you because it's like, in my viewpoint of God and religion, I don't see as if you have a car to start.
Exactly.
You know, I don't see that. But you may feel like, well, I don't have to race because I know that I'm right. But when I look at you, it's like, yo, this guy is not even, he doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a team. Like, he's not even, you know, he's in the stands right now. Like, and then life is going to go on. And everybody's going to be driving their car. Everybody's going to be going toward the end goal of God and religion. And then you're still at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? Like, without gas. And you can't even start your car. You have a blown engine. You know, so for me, that's why I say it's scary because, like, and then, like, all right, the race ends. And, like, you're still in the pits. You haven't even started. And God's like, all right, bro, well, I mean, I guess you're going to hell because you didn't even put gas in your car. And you're here like, I'm going to just accept it. And it's crazy. It's just crazy, man. That don't sound crazy to you? And then you're gonna burn in hell for eternity. And you're gonna be okay with it. It's crazy to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at least have another religion to me that I feel is wrong, but it's right to you. For like, at least you're going to the same goal. You might be wrong and you might not make it, but at least you're trying. But for you, it's like, hey, man, it's all good. I don't know, man. That's why I say I feel like there's a naiveness to it because it almost seems as if like, you know as much as God. Yeah. And like you and God are one. And like,
which we are.
God knows me.
He created everything, man. He's within us. He's everywhere. The race don't even have to start, man.
I don't know, Gabe. I don't know, man.
There's beauty in the word perspective. You know what I mean?
Why are you laughing though, man? Why are you like this guy is still in the pits, bro? Like you're 25. Yeah, how you not? You're still in the pits.
In your perspective, I'm in the pits. In my
but
perspective,
you finished the race.
Basically, you know what I mean? Just like that. You ain't even see it.
This man got a supercar, bro. This guy, like, that's the thing. Like, I gave you grace by saying, okay, all these different religions, you know, Catholicism, Christianity, like, that's me giving grace. It's like, hey, like, me knowing I know they're wrong, but that doesn't mean, you know, I mean, like, you're still driving the car trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? But I know you're wrong. So you got to hope. You got to take that chance that you get to. Yeah, everybody has. I have to hope, too. I had to hope my car makes it, too.
How did any religion start? They didn't start as a religion. They started as a thought. And then from there, boom, 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 it grows. Religion.
That's why God sent Jesus. I mean.
In your religion.
In my religion. Yeah, that's why God sent Jesus, because, you know.
I don't like to say religion for me. I just like to say philosophy. I feel like I'm disrespecting you guys.
Yeah, it's funny because there's a story in the Bible of, what's his name? There's a prophet, right? And he had his God. What was his name? Oh, man, it was, he's right into my tongue. Elijah's book of Elijah. So basically, he had his God, the God of heaven. And then he had like 4 other guys that had their gods, right? And it's crazy. They literally had a competition. It's in the Bible. They literally had a competition. And they're like, hey, you know, we're all going to stay here. We're all going to stand here. I mean, I might probably have some of the story a little miscommunicated, but basically the gist of it is like, hey, we all worship our own God, right? We're all going to stand here and we're going to wait for our God to drop fire on this campsite. And bro, this is the thing. A lot of people that gathered around, they all gathered around to watch. And Elijah's God was the only God that made things happen. And then like all the people around them, like they prayed to their God and they cried and wept for days and days in. And their God never sent fire. But the God of Elijah, you know, the God that I believe is correct, he sent fire every time. Every time he sent fire. But that's the thing is, they had their own religions. They had their own God. But the God of Elijah was the only God that was real. He was the only God that, you know, produced something. You know, so that's why for me, like, stories like that, it's like, you know, that's why I say, you know, you to dig in a little deep to see more of the Bible, because stories like that, it's like, you know, these were genuine people. They thought their God, they thought that their religion was correct, and, you know, it just nothing produced from it. You know, but then when you know, Elijah said, "Hey, I'll take your challenge." You're like, I have faith in my God; He's gonna make things happen. And you know what happened? Fire came from his, and everybody else's fire, nothing came. And you know what all those people did? They came and followed the God of Elijah.
Beautiful.
You know, and that's the thing, because this guy. And that's the thing is, like, you know, they had that proof, that evidence, right? Us today, we have the Bible. It's all there for us to read. We don't need miracles. We don't like. Why do we need all these things? We just need faith. You know, that the Bible, what it's saying, is real.
That's a bunch of feelings. You know what I mean? And
Could be beautiful. Feelings.
That's
beautiful.
Faith
is feelings, but I don't know, man. I just look at you. This guy's in the pits, man. Like,
possibly.
He had 3 blown out tires.
In your perspective.
In my perspective, you got 4 blown out tires, and you're like, I want to come up. You know, you ever seen the movie Cars?
Yeah.
And remember when Strict Weathers, right? He crashed his car.
He went crazy.
He went crazy, right? And like McQueen, he went back and he helped the car.
Yeah.
He helped him get to the finish line. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm trying to do for you. I'm trying to, in my perspective, I'm trying to get you to the finish line, because I don't want to leave you behind. You know, so
I'm glad that you're doing that for me, and I'm also supporting you. Yo, just use me as an example of what not to be. No, you know what I mean?
But that's the thing, right? That's the thing. Like, why is it that you have that, you know, that mindset? I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess for me, like, I want to give you the floor to speak for maybe 2-3 minutes.
All right, you know what? Here.
I want to give you the floor, like, because I feel like, you know, you're saying, I feel like there's a lot of gray in what you're saying.
Let's see if I could put this into a better perspective.
Yeah, so give us a little something, bro. Like, you know.
Here we go.
You know, why this guy got notes.
Yeah, a little bit.
Look at this guy. Right? So I'm gonna give you a few minutes to say what you believe.
Look, right.
And I just want you to answer some questions. Do you believe there's a God? Do you believe there's heaven? Do you believe it's hell? And what do you believe what happens when you die? I want those things in there.
Do I believe there's a God?
Do you believe there's heaven and hell? And if so, what happens when you die?
After you die. All right, so do I believe there's a God, right? For me, yes. Okay. Right? Do I believe that there is heaven or hell? There could be.
Can you give me a yes or no?
I cannot.
Come on, bro.
I cannot.
Give me a yes or no, man.
To me, I cannot. I can't tell you yes or no because I don't know.
Come on, bro. Give me a yes. So if there's a multiple choice answer, yes, no, you're leaving it blank.
I'm putting it blank. I don't know.
All right. And what happens when you die?
When I die, I don't know.
Come on, bro.
God will decide.
These are like
God will decide.
Do you think there's a rapture or something? Like,
no, if it happens, then it happens.
Come on. What do you think?
But it's not for me to decide. It's for God to decide.
But it's like, I don't know. Like, if you have this, that's the thing. Like all these other religions, right? There is fact to their feelings. Like they can say, like, yeah, there's a God. They can say, you know, yes, there's a hell. No, there's a hell. And then they can say, yeah, when I die, this happens. You know, Egyptians, when they die, they're reborn. You know, like some people say when they die, you know, they start life over. Or some people say they become a donkey or an animal next. You know, like some people say they have different aspects of life. So, like, for you, like, you don't have, like, evidence to what happens. You know what I mean? Like, you got a lot of diagrams on your thing, but what happens when you die, bro? Like, you gotta understand, like, because like you don't, like, you have your own God in your own. You laughing? You have your own God in your own religion, but you don't know what's gonna happen when you die. Like that's like the main ass. Like, come on now. Hear this quote.
It's such a beautiful quote that I know many people.
Who wrote it?
Oh, the people in the video don't know.
Oh. Say his name for the viewers. Right, someone might know. What's his name? Who wrote it?
Chakotatius. You'll figure it out. Look, it says right here, right? Beautiful quote. Each of us lives dependent and bound by our individual knowledge and our awareness. All that is what we call reality. However, both knowledge and awareness are equivocal, and one's reality might be another's illusion. So in reality, we all live inside our own fantasies. Beautiful quote. It's all about perspective, man. Choose what you want. You know what I mean?
So when you have kids, what are you gonna tell them to believe?
I'll tell them the same thing I'm saying right now.
Believe what you want.
Yeah.
And whatever.
Now, of course,
sticks.
In the world, I'll tell them the rights and wrongs, right? Because we have morals and we have principles that we have to stand by. Not exactly that we have to stand by, but the thing is that people will judge you. You know what I mean? We have to.
You can't rob.
That's something that we have to deal with.
You gotta be respectful to adults.
But when it comes to like spirituality and
religion,
I'll be telling them the same thing. You know what I mean? Check this out, right?
What do your parents think of this? You mean because you said they're Christian, right? Yeah. Like, what do they think? Do they have an opinion on it, or do they ask you to come to church anymore? Or?
They'll probably say, like, for example, my mom. She'll probably say, she'll probably say that she's just Christian. I mean, that's pretty much it. But I mean, I make my own choices when it comes to this. So it's not like it's gonna really change anything.
Yeah, so they don't really have an opinion on it. No, they just do what you want.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume that it would be to be a Christian, right? But nah. Look, this is somewhat of like a viewpoint of mine, right? Let's say, for example, this is what I like to say: nature is neutral. Nature is neutral. You know what I mean?
What does that mean?
I'm gonna go into that. Right. So, the first part, right? Nature is life, right? It's the same thing. Nature and life. God created life. What is life?
Your God.
Life is also nature. Huh?
Your God or my God?
My God.
All right.
You know what I mean?
I mean, my God created
he created
yeah.
Life is existence. You know what I mean? Everything in existence is a part of the world that we live in.
Go ahead.
Life, right? Existence is only here because of God, right? God is nature. You know what I mean? So, nature is neutral. Nature is neutral and neutral by nature, right?
You sound like Cat in the Hat. Come on, man.
Hear me out.
One fish, two fish.
Hear me out.
Red fish, blue fish.
So, nature is neutral. Nature is life, and the things that happen in life just happen, right? It is what it is. Nothing more, nothing less. Things that happen are neither good or bad.
Who wrote this stuff?
I did.
You wrote this?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Can I see?
Yeah.
But so this, why don't you start your own religion?
Huh? Oh, I don't know. Want me to read it? I'm over here chewing my gum. I'm probably like messing up the mic and whatnot.
Yeah, a little
Hold
bit.
on, let me.
Nature equals life. Life equals existence. Existence equals God. Nature is neutral, and neutral by nature. Nothing is neutral.
I'll read it for you.
Hold on.
Okay.
I got a bachelor's degree. Yeah.
Oh yeah. You just call me.
Yeah. Okay. Morals are only present in a worldly point of view, not from a universal point of view. Logic versus emotion. Facts and logic are more so worldly. Opinions, emotions, and feelings are more so spiritual. Feelings/emotions is not only is a mental sense. Feelings/emotions are also physical. When you hear something unnatural, you feel the sound through the vibration of said thing through your ear. Your eardrums are what feel the vibrational frequencies that allow you to hear sound. Logic is the worldly. Feeling is the universal. It's spiritual. It's a balance. So, you got some good notes here. So
I like to put emphasis on certain words,
Yeah.
because certain words are very ambiguous, right? And they can mean different things, right? So you have to use it correctly.
So everything here, is this fact?
Actually,
Everything here,
Mhm.
is this fact or is this logic?
I'll say there's probably a bit of fact in there.
It says facts and logic are more so worldly. Opinion, emotions, and feelings are more spiritual. I don't know. It's just...
I'm going to read it for you.
No, you can.
I'm a reader.
I can't do this to the viewers, but
Oh, okay, I got you.
I mean, you can give me.
Yeah, I got you.
I mean, I guess what I say, read the most important aspect of it. I would say.
What?
Oh,
But that's the thing, right? Everything in here is integrated into itself. You know what I mean? So it's not just like I could say one thing and then from there I could leave out the other thing because it's also a part of this big picture as well.
So you basically created your own idealism of the world on paper, and that idealism comes from what you understand of the world and God.
Mm-hmm.
So is that subject to change over time as you grow and as you get older and as you learn more things?
I'm not gonna lie. To be honest, where I'm at right now, there's probably only maybe a few more things I have to like touch upon, or maybe add a few more things in terms of like the concept of like time, and the the free choice versus like predeterminism, things like that. But apart from that, I think I'm pretty much there.
You dream at night, bro?
Do I dream? Yeah.
What do you dream about?
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, man. Yo, I got chased by a clown the other day. What else? Nah, I lied. That was like years ago.
What do you dream about? Honestly, what do you dream about?
What do I dream about? I don't know. I just dream about like, I don't know, probably like fighting. I don't know, like running. You know what I mean? I was like, perfect example of demons. Man, in the dream, I was running away from Bloody Mary. I knew who Bloody Mary was. As a demon, I'm out. Beautiful.
Do you sleep at night, Gabe?
Of course. Yeah.
You do? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Actually, look, I'm not gonna say it right, but this kind of links up.
You can say it. You can say it.
What?
Which you can read it. I mean, whatever you want to read. Yeah, whatever you want to read.
Alrighty. So check this out.
Give us one thing. We're getting over. Pretty long on time. Give me one.
Got you. Let's say, for example, right? Nature is neutral. So I'm gonna start from the beginning part. Nature is neutral. Nature is life, and the things that happen in life just happen. It is what it is, nothing more, nothing less. Things that happen are neither good or bad. The reason why nature is not because of the basic outlook of everything is neutral and not having a side on a particular subject or thing. The reason why nature is neutral is because of the fact that everything, subject, topic, or thing, can be perceived in a either negative or positive perspective, making everything neutral because you can always change your perspective on said thing, which will cancel each other out, right? You can never be truly neutral in a worldly perspective because of this universal concept. As a human, you will always feel a certain way about something, whether in the positive or negative outlook. Then you have other stuff. Even the idea of being neutral about something is technically positive because no matter how small the positivity is, because you wouldn't mind either or. You wouldn't want to be neutral on something that would cause you harm or discomfort or negativity in your point of view. If you are neutral about something, then that would mean that you are okay with either or happening until there is negativity in your perspective. You know what I mean?
I don't.
Come on, man. There's more stuff, but actually, I'll show you this part right here. That kind of connects everything.
Yeah.
Right. Boom.
Let me read it.
That's the diagram right there.
God is a creator. So basically, God creates nature, life, and existence. And then spirituality. Is the spirituality in that too?
That's how you link yourself to God as well as dealing with the world. That's the spiritual aspect of things.
God, good and bad. Oh, bad. Oh, so you're saying...
It keeps on trickling down.
Yeah. Spirituality is derived from the understanding and acceptance of the link between the is. Who's the is?
The is what God does. Whatever happens. That is the is.
You have a pencil?
Yeah, I put it in my bag.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. Yeah, like the marksmanship was pretty good.
That's a beautiful... I'm not going to lie. That part right there is beautiful.
Let me read this. It's the last thing. Spirituality is derived from the understanding and acceptance of the link between the is and its relationship with nature, life, and existence, which leads to God, the Creator, as a whole. It is the balance of being of the world and having to deal with its worldly problems, but coming to an understanding of acceptance of the universal divine perspective to guide you through the world of the flesh.
Beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, I do have one more part that would be beautiful for you to read.
Let's go to it, man.
I'm telling you, man, it's beautiful.
I want to give you, like I do want to. That's it. I was gonna give you some time. Let's go.
Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna read this quickly, right? The title, right, or like the subheading, whatever, is morals are only present in the worldly point of view, not from the universal point of view / divine, spiritual, whatever, right? In the existence of God or the Creator, everything is good and bad based on how you want to perceive it. God is what created everything. God is above all and within all. God is existence and God is nature / life. God is the embodiment of the word is. God is all that is existence. Everything that happens in life just is because God is all and above all and created all and knows the past, present, and future of all since God created all that is existence. Whether it's time, space, matter, different timelines, multiple universes, countless dimensions, different realms, God knows all because he is all, within all, and above all that is existence. Morals are only used in a worldly point of view to keep things civilized at peace. And at peace, morals have also changed throughout time, and morals also change based on where you are from, where you are at, the different cultures, and even those change over time as well. Morals change from a worldly to societal to a cultural and to an individualistic standpoint as well, depending on feelings and logics. Logic is the worldly, feeling is the universal / spiritual. It's a balance. You know what I mean? And the understanding of that is what brings you closer to God, in my point of view. Beautiful.
I don't know. I read it.
It makes sense, man.
Where's the fact?
That's the thing, man. Philosophy isn't all about facts, man. Philosophy can go on forever. Come on, man. You gotta clout to that, man.
I don't know, Gabe.
There's more stuff in there too, but we could, that's for another time.
Another time.
If there is another time, who knows? Who knows, man? God only knows, right?
You never know. It could be good. It could be bad. God, who knows? God allows it, right?
I'm telling you, man. Beautiful.
If you got this far, really appreciate you deep and diving into this philosophy.
Yeah.
The spiritualness. What I can say is I feel like I know a lot of people they want to understand because when someone says I'm spiritual, like I said earlier, it sometimes has those negative viewpoints, but we were able to get a little bit more.
You see, rather than constellations, right? You know what I mean? And
stars and science.
And there was a little bit of vibration in there, right? But
a little bit of vibration.
Yeah, but that's kind of crazy too. Oh, vibrations. Yeah, I understand.
King Little Podcast. Enjoy all my listeners. This might be our last episode, y'all. No, I'm just kidding. If you want to be on the podcast, just hit me up. Hit my email. We love all the viewers. We love all the supporters. We love Gabe too. You want the music up a little more? Hey. King Little Podcast. Thank you all for listening. Have an amazing rest of your night.